let's solve this question. We are told to find the length of the tangent from negative 5/8 to the circle of this equation. Let's do that. So solution. First of all, you draw your circle. And you all know that all circles have a center. Good. And the question says the length of the tangent is from this point, this external point. So this is the tangent. So this the tangent is coming from this point, which is negative 5/8. So it's coming from this point, which is negative 5/8. Good. And now, when I join this point of tangent to the center of the circle, it gives me a radius. And there's a theorem in circles that states that whenever the tangent touches the radius, it forms a right angle. So when I'm to join this point from the center to the external point, I form a shape known as the right angle triangle. Meaning, if I want to find this length, then these two lengths, I have to know these two lengths, so that I'll use Pythagorean Theorem to get the length of the tangent. So let's do that. So to get the length, the length of the radius, I can get it from the equation of the circle. So let's do that. So the equation of the circle which is being given is x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 3 equals 0. After doing this, I'll write the general form of equation of a circle under it. So this is how it is. The general form of equation. After doing this, I'm going to compare the coefficient of x and the coefficient of y. So when I do the first comparison, I will equate it. So let's do the first comparison. That's the coefficient of x, so which is negative 4 for this one. So negative 4. Good. Equals this one, which is 2j. So when I want to get the j, I'll divide both sides by 2. So my j will become negative 2. Because negative 4 divided by 2, you get negative 2. These two will cancel out. Now our f, coefficient of y also here. So it will be negative 6 to be equated to 2f. You divide both sides by 2, our f becomes negative 3, because negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Now let's compare the c. C equals 3. So c equals 3. Now since you have gotten the g, the f and the c, we can get the radius by using an equation which is r squared equals j squared plus f squared minus c. We know our j as, so our j is negative 2, so negative 2 squared plus our f, which is negative 3, so negative 3 squared minus c, which is 3. Negative 2 squared is 4 plus negative 3 squared is 9, making 13. 13 minus 3 is 10. So our r squared becomes 10. But since we are looking for r, we are going to square root both sides, so as the square root and the square will be cancelled out. Therefore, our r will be equal to square root of 10. So our radius is square root of 10. So our radius is square root of 10. Good. Now we don't know our center. So let's get the center also from the equation of the circle. Okay, so we know the center is in the form negative j, negative f. Meaning, Whatever value you get for j, you have to negate it. So our c therefore becomes, when you negate negative 2, it becomes positive 2. Negative f, you negate f, so it will become positive 3. So our center, the coordinate of our center is 2, 3. Since you have the point for the center and the point of this, or the external point, you can find the length or the distance between these two fixed points by using the distance formula. So let's do that. The distance formula equals, or the length between two fixed points equals square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. Now, what is x1 and what is x2? What is y2 and what is y1? So let's write the data. So our x1, let's use this as our x1. So our x1 will be equal to negative 5. Our y1 will be equal to 8. Our x2 will be equal to 2, and our y2 will be equal to 3. So let's plug in this information. So d equals square root of x2 is 2. So 2 minus x1 is negative 5 all squared, plus y2 is 3. 3 minus y1, which is 8 all squared. Good. So d equals 2 negative become positive. So 2 plus 5 will become 7. So 7 squared plus 3 minus 8 is negative 5. Negative 5 squared, we are going to get 25. Or let me write it as this, negative 5 squared. So after doing this, 7 squared, we are going to get 49, and negative 5 squared is 25. So 49 plus 25, we are going to get 74. So square root of 74 is the distance from the center to this external point. So the length here is square root of 74. Good. So since we know the length of this, that's the radius, and the length of this, we can find this by using the Pythagorean Theorem. We state that we are going to square the hypotenuse, the longest part, and equate to the other two sides. You sum it. The other two sides, you are going to what? Square it and sum it. Okay, so let's do it. So it will be always the left opposite the right angle is always the hypotenuse. So this length opposite the angle, right angle is the hypotenuse. So square root of 74, you are going to square it. You equate it to the sum of the two other sides. The sum of the two other sides by squaring them. So square root of 10, you are going to square it. And this unknown one, you are also going to square it, which you are represented by x. So square root of 74 squared, you are going to get 74. Square root of 10, so you are going to get 10 plus x squared. So 10 will move here, so it will be 74 minus 10 equals x squared. So meaning x squared equals 74 minus 10, you are going to get 64. So how are you going to get this? You are going to square root, so square root both sides. Square root of x squared equals square root of 64. Square root to cancel square. So x therefore will be equal to 8 units. So meaning The length of the tangent from negative 5h to this equation of the circle is 8 units. So this length is 8 units. Good. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks a lot.